All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. Hope everybody is having a phenomenal morning and ready for a great day. As always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper, let's take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. I apologize for the delay there. Technology is fun. But let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. We'll take a look at the fundamentals. Got some risk-off action still, so we'll take a look to see what's happening there. And then we'll dive into the chart. So as I switch over, just drop me one in the chat if you can hear me okay. Perfect. Appreciate it. And all right, cool deal. Thank you very much. So, trading economics. Global stocks fall. Major barrels in Europe fell for a second straight session, tracking a global risk-off mood amidst escalating tensions in the Middle East and mixed earnings reports. At the same time, government bond yields continue to rise in Asia. Major benchmarks closed 2% lower. In the U.S. stocks, stock futures also pointed to to cautious open. So the earnings reports definitely came in a little down yesterday. So when those came out, you saw some movement in the market. So earnings are starting to be impacted by major companies. So we'll continue to watch that and see how things transpire there. The 10-year Treasury yield, yielding U.S. 10-year Treasury note rose for a fourth straight day to 4.96 on Thursday, breaking a new 16-year high as traders increasingly bet the Fed will keep interest rates elevated for an extended period of time. That's what the Fed has been saying, right? That's what they've been telling people, but people haven't been listening. Economic data released during the week included retail sales, industrial production, housing starts, building permits, surprised on the upside, adding to further evidence the U.S. economy remains robust. At the same time, comments from several Fed officials have been mixed about the need for further rate hikes, but there seems to be unanimity. I know I screwed that word up. Anyway, in their commitment to maintaining borrowing costs at restrictive levels in order to curb inflation and bring it back to target range. Initial jobless claims and Fed chair appearance for Economic Club in New York will be keenly watched for additional insights into the monetary policy outlook. All right. So there's mixed feelings, a mixed bag coming from Fed officials, right? So with those Fed officials being mixed, there's some back and forth there. But overall, the Fed still said interest rates will be higher for longer. So that's what they said. So we'll continue to monitor those bond yields and see how they impact things as well. Over crude oil, the WTI futures fell below $80 a barrel on Thursday, giving back some of the gains from the previous session and a likely technical correction. While investors continue to assess the global supply outlook, oil prices rallied for to a two-week high on Wednesday as escalating turmoil in the Middle East stoked fears about disruptions to global supplies. As the U.S. reported larger than expected inventory draw. However, the market retreated slightly on Thursday as OPEC showed no signs of supporting Iran's call for an oil embargo on Russia. Well, I didn't read that. Oh, that is interesting. The U.S. also issued a 6-month license authorizing transactions in Venezuela, oil sector after Venezuelan administration and opposition leaders reached an agreement for 2024 election. So that kind of tells you where the world is and where they kind of where they lie when it comes to Israel. Um, different from Russia, where major countries were in support of oil embargoes. With Israel, they aren't, right? So that'll be something that we continue to follow as well. So we shall see what transpires there from an oil perspective. And then we had China new home prices drop for third month. Um, France business confidence falls in October. All right. So that's it from a fundamental perspective. Over to the calendar really quickly. Don't know why this keeps changing. For today, Thursday, unemployment claims coming in at 8:30. Philly Fed Manufacturing Index at 8:30 as well. FOMC member Jefferson speaking at 9. Extending existing home sales at 10. Fed Chair Powell at 12. Another FOMC member, Goolsbee at 1:20, then 1:30 for member Barr. Federal budget balance sometime today and tomorrow. Member Harker speaking at 5:30. Member Logan speaking at 7. Right, so got quite a few officials speaking today, so that'll be interesting to see also how things go. But this is going to be the major one here. That'll be the major one there. And then statement of intent by Bank of New Zealand sometime this evening. So that's where we sit on Thursday. Yeah, there's definitely some interesting stuff happening over there, and that's for sure. Any questions or any other thoughts from a fundamental perspective? Nope. All right, cool deal. Give me 1 second. Make a couple changes real quick. Okay. Oops, my bad. All right, cool deal. So let's rock. Let's hop over to the charts. Take a look, see what is going on there. DXY pushed up a bit, but still in its range. Into the 4. All right, so we push back to the top of this little range here. So we'll see if we continue this move back to the upside, right? But for the day yesterday, we moved up after the push down, right? So we're pressing back to the upside now. I'm sorry. Yeah. Pressing back to the upside, right? So we're coming into this level of resistance. It's 3 hours. There we go. That's the better look, right? So back to the high. Let's see, daily. That's a level of daily resistance there. Boom. So we got this level and the level above. Okay. So this will be, got to see how price works, right? But we've been ranging here We're pressing to the upside, coming back to this level of daily resistance. We'll see if we're able to break through that. Okay. See if we're able to break through that and continue pressing long. Continue pressing long there. Okay. If we don't, we could see this come back down to the downside and reach that support level, 13,094. Okay. Coming down to the 4, right? So in that range at the B boundary. Then on the 1, that's where we are. Okay. So that's the DXY. Any questions there? Oh, okay. Cool deal. Let's take a look at a couple that we added in yesterday, the Aussie Swiss. Right, here's that move on the Aussie Swiss that we talked about yesterday morning. There's the break. Price continue to move to the downside, approaching the extension there at 56,488. See if we get that last push to the downside to get to that TP level. All right, so that one was a beautiful move to the downside. Currently up 63 pips with a little bit more to go. All right, so we bounce back and look at it from a higher time frame perspective. We know we got that weekly support level. Take that off. Weekly support level coming in, right? 56,051. Looks like that's where we're headed, right? This is a daily support level here, but we're trying to break that level. All right. 2 candles to the right, 2 candles to the left. So we'll drop that down and just look at it on the lower time frames. But trying to break this level. If we break that, we'll definitely get to that support level at 56,051, right? And stay range bound in this 118 and 127 zone, which then makes sense, right? So if that level then holds, either one of these levels in this zone holds between this daily support and weekly support, all right? Then we'll look for moves potentially back to the upside. Okay. Coming down to the 4, let's see where we sit there. All right. We talked about this as well. Boom. Right. Shallow retracement, pressing down. 118, 127 zone aligned with that weekly support level. So if we break that, that gives us that opportunity there to get back long, potential double bottom scenario here at that weekly support level. Okay. So we'll continue to watch that to see that move to the downside there. Getting to that 1 hour TP level and then making our way to that weekly support. Okay. Did anybody take this move yesterday to the downside? Missed it. Yeah, great work. Some missed it, some took it. Sweet. Awesome job. Awesome job. Awesome job. We'll continue rocking and see how they continue to move. Checking on this Aussie CAD. Another move off the high. So here, right, we got a 382 off this daily fib here, pressing to the downside. We had decision, indecision. So let's see today if we end with a decision candle to the downside, giving us that evening star pattern, right? If we get that, then we'll look for that downside movement and see if we're able to break this weekly support level finally and stay below it to head to the D extension. Okay. So we'll watch that from a daily time frame to see if we get that evening star pattern. So coming to the 4, there's price turnover, boom, pushing down, right? We're pulling back a bit right now, and we'll see if throughout the day today we get a pullback and then a continuation to the downside. Coming into the 1, there's our move, right? We had the 80-20 beginning of the week, right? 618 retracement. There's our turnover, trend line break, retest, continue to the downside. Okay, so we're pulling back now. And let's see how deep this pullback comes. We may come back to, right, retest this zone where we broke out of, like so. Right? And then continue to move down. Okay. So we'll watch those waves as it continues to go as well. You can drop your sub fib there, AB boundary, pulling back to that zone is a 618 retracement, right? 618 retracement. Look for price to continue to the downside there. Okay. So that's where we are there. In profit on that. We're pulling back now. We'll look to see if we get another high price. Those that may have missed the entry, or those that might want to scale into the trade. Be an opportunity to add to the trade there and take that to the downside. Okay. Questions here on the Aussie CAD? What price is 618 on the sub fib, Reese? Make sure. Yep. 86,796. No doubt. No doubt. Right. And so as you're plotting these out, right? So now you can add your smaller waves in there, like so. Boom. Whoops, that's a little too low. Right, and these are your smaller waves. Like so. Right, so we'll continue to monitor and watch this as it flows. Boom. Okay. Any other questions on the? Nope, no questions there. All right, then let's look at this Aussie yen. It moved as well. So stuck in the range, right? We came to the top and now we're pressing back down to the downside here. Pressing down to the downside. Got 93,595 as a support level here. Okay. On your 4 hour, we got a 618 retracement. We came back to that 618 retracement zone, and then we broke down to the downside. So we're pulling back now. See how deep that pullback comes. See, do we stay in this range or do we continue moving to the downside? So that'd be something that we track and that we follow and see how things transpire. Coming down to the one is where the move was. And here it is, right? We got a 8-6 retracement. We came close again to that D extension level. Here at 94,199, pulling back. So we'll see if we get pull back, retest support levels there, and then continuation to the D extension. Came close there, right? So that's already been a pretty decent move to the downside. Boom, 104 pips, just shy of the D extension, right? So got a little bit more to go. 115 to the D extension. But yeah, broke the trend lines and continued its move down. So that's 3 of them from yesterday that are in profit already. Almost 200 pips from yesterday to today. So beautiful scenarios, beautiful opportunities. So we'll continue to monitor, continue to manage your trade. Okay, continue to manage the trade. Okay, questions on the Aussie yen? Nope. All right, Aussie New Zealand. This is one that has not turned over, and we could potentially get to the extension. Right, that New Zealand hasn't picked up any strength yet. It's still pressing down, bearish on the New Zealand dollar. So this is continuing to rise. So we'll continue to monitor it, right? I have an entry there. If it is to stop, it's to stop 63 pips back, which would be okay. But it's in drawdown right now. So we'll continue to monitor it, allow it to do its thing. But right now, in this scenario, the Australian dollar is taking precedence over the New Zealand dollar. So We'll watch to see if we get price to turn over. We did break this key level here on that push to the upside. So we'll continue to watch and see. Okay, but we are in drawdown there. Coming back, let's see here. Daily time frame. Oops. That's where we are. That's that break. Continue to the upside. We could push there. We could get to that D extension. Looking at this consolidation zone that we broke out of here. All right. Looking at that. Pressing into that zone now, could press a bit higher. So we'll see what happens at that D extension. If we stall here, right, get a fresh AB boundary, then it'll be AB boundary move to the downside. So we'll watch that there. Coming to the 4. Still don't have us. We might have it actually. Let's see. Technically, we do have a swing high here. Well, let me click it to see the price. But 2 candles to the right that are lower. So we do have a swing high here on the 4. So this will give us some more insight here. That's our new fib right there. So this kind of adds to that thought of price pushing higher. Seeing this new fib here on the 4, right? We could push into this 118, 127 zone, retest this daily level at 108,967. Higher time frame taking precedence over the lower time frame. So we'll watch this here. All right. We could push into the zone. I'll get stopped out on the 1 hour time frame, but then I'll come back to this 4. Come to this 4 and look to play it off the 4 hour 80-20 scenario once we get to that range. All right. So we'll watch this, but we definitely could get to that D extension and push to this 118, 127 zone on the 4 hour. Okay. So be aware of that. Be aware of that last push like that. And then we'll see if we get a reaction like that. And that'll give us some more opportunity there. You guys follow me on that Aussie New Zealand 4 hour scenario? Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll continue to monitor that and see how things go throughout the day today. Any questions here on this Aussie New Zealand? Oh, all right. Cool deal. Then we know where that is. Aussie dollar. Another one from yesterday, right? Pressing down to the downside, dollar gaining some strength, but still kind of sort of in its range. We'll just come to the 4 hour here. Right. And here's that move to the downside and press down, pulling back, right? And got daily support at 62,732. There's the move from yesterday. Boom. Right. I missed the add to the trade on this one, but broke down, broke trend line, continued pressing to the downside. So beautiful move again, right? So off the break. That's another 84 pips. So we're almost at 300 pips just in a day, right? Not including the things from out of the ritual, right? These retracement opportunities, right? Just from yesterday, looking at moves to the downside, we're almost at 300 pips, right? So the sequence works, man. The sequence works. So that's the move to the downside. They're looking for a pullback and a continuation short. All right. So oops. Hold up. There we go. Looking at something like that. And then down. So watching this coming, you can come down to the 15 on this one, right? Run your fib off the high and look for the pullback here. Boom. All right. So here's a 15-minute opportunity for folks that play on the lower time frames. Boom. Look for price to pull into the sweet spot here, 618, 786 range. and then look for the short opportunity. Okay. Reese, I'll check out your 30 in a second too. I'll pop back to that level. All right. And then boom, dollar takeoff, right? So that's the 15-minute look there. Let's go back to the 30. So on that one, it'd be just inside the AB boundary on the 30-minute there. And we'll be able to run a sub fib off the high, see if we have an 80-20 pushing long, and give us some opportunity there on the flip to the downside. So there's your 30-minute fib there, Reese. Questions on the Aussie dollar? Another one moving in our favor. Nope. Joy in that to the downside. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right. And there's been tons of opportunity this week. The volatility has been beautiful on both sides, on the retracements and the extension. So there'll be more to come. There will be more to come. See what Fetcher Power has to say. I want to take a look at this CAD Swiss because it continues to push to the downside here. So we know we have this daily support was resistance, right? Pressing to the downside here. We're trying to break that level now. So we're at a 786 retracement on the fib to the upside here. Pressing down deeper into the zone. So we'll continue to monitor this. We're sitting at an 8.6 retracement right now. Still inside the AB boundary, right? But we could potentially, right? So we're stuck in this range. So do we come all the way down, take out that sub fib AB boundary and come back to this weekly support at 64,752? We'll see. We'll see what the safe havens have to say when it comes to this CAD Swiss. Coming down to the 4, right? We hit the D extension on the 4, right? Which we knew if we got back to that support level. So boom, we hit that. Now look for a new fib to form at some point and see if we get a retracement there, right? We had 2 fibs on this move down, shallow retracement push, shallow retracement push. So when we see runs on currencies like this, so all these Swissies are just running, right? So we want to sit and be patient and add additional confirmation to these scenarios to ensure that we're getting those shifts. There's still some uncertainty in the market. Thought it had left, but that uncertainty is still there. So we'll continue to monitor and see when we get this shift back to commodity currencies with the war scenario. So we'll continue to monitor to see. 65,539. Okay, so right at the support level. Right around the support level. Yeah. I had an order in and it hit my stop on that one. So I feel you. But we'll continue to let price do its thing, right? And we'll let it run as long as it needs to. We'll monitor again at this weekly support level and see what happens. Coming down to the 1, right? On the 1 hour, we did get a 382 push, right here. So we could get to that D extension there as well and continue riding to that weekly support level. So let's continue to watch this, right? All of my orders on this are closed, even the longs that I had. And now I'm waiting for price to push as far as it's going to. And I'm going to use the cloud as my additional confirmation, just to give me some additional good feelings about this one moving to the upside, right? So we'll wait on the cloud. We'll look for price to push into the zone. Would love maybe even getting, once this new fib forms, an 80-20 type scenario, right? An 80-20 type scenario in line with that weekly support level, something like that, right? if we see something like that, that'll give us some additional confirmation at that support level as well. Okay. Even on this 4-hour fib, we get some nice confirmations of 80-20, right? If price just continues to run down with no swing low, right? Look for something like that to happen. And that'll give us some good confirmation there, along with the trend line break, cloud break, what have you, and a move back to the upside there. So going to continue to monitor that and see if we just get that full run to the downside there. Okay. Cloud on the daily. Let's look at it. Boom. So right now we're retesting the cloud after the break. But if you see, right, just looking back at this consolidation, right, it's just been a back and forth. So hasn't fully given us a Kumo twist yet here. And we haven't broken the cloud to the downside yet here, but it looks like it's coming. So we could likely see another scenario like this, where we come into the support level and then flip. Right. And just as this markup shows, right, this would be another opportunity. It was a beautiful move to the upside initially, right? Out of that zone, that was 316 pips. Could give us another opportunity. Bottom of the range to the top of the range, 316, 350 pips to the upside. And then if we do break that, then opportunity to continue longer to the 382 on the daily. So we'll look to see if we get a third touch, right? Triple bottom here at this weekly support at 64,777. Yeah. So no, I dig it. But where it's even here, right? You had your TK crossover here, and price just ran to the downside once that happened. Right. TK crossover, cloud started to shift. So yeah, let's allow this one to run. Allow this one to run. Right. Don't jump in it yet. Allow it to do its thing. And then once we get back to 64,770, we'll come back and we'll see what happens. Okay. Any other questions on that cat Swiss? No. Okay. CAD yen. I just want to check in to see where it sits. So we're pulling back here as well. That's the daily look. Still in this range here, trying to make this full 964 push to the upside. Coming back down, we may come back and retest the support at 108.229. Coming to the 4. There's your move there. Right. Deep retracement, 8-6 level on that push, and we're pressing to the downside here. I don't know that we'll get we might come back and retest this. Just looking at it, we might come back and retest and give us a double bottom type scenario here. But I don't foresee price breaking this level. Let me pull this down though. Support there. I don't know that price will break this level. That's that daily support level. So we'll watch this one here. Continue to be patient. It wasn't 80-20 on the 1 hour, but we're pulling back now, right? We'll see what this pullback has to say. But this could be a pullback for another continuation back into this zone here. And that's based on this 80-20 off the 1 hour fib. I did not take this one. I was looking to see if that will continue to push the D extension, but shallow retracement 118 and 127. There was your consolidation. There's your breakdown to the downside, right? So we could definitely push this 382, which is in line with the previous resistance level, right? Another smaller push to the downside like this, getting to that 382 level, maybe 50%, right? And then a potential flip and run back long. So we'll continue to monitor that one. I'm not in this one. Did anybody take this to the downside? Play this 80-20? Or no? Still long. Okay. Yeah. So I'm watching. Really all the yens I'm sitting and monitoring. I'm still waiting on higher prices from these. So we'll see. We'll see what we get as price continues to push down there. But I did not take that play. Swiss yen. This was trying to break this daily level. So a couple things here, right? We're going to go to the monthly. Bullish on the month, right? I'm really being patient here because I do want to see this 176,321 level hit. And we might be finally ready to make that push to the upside to get there. Okay. So being patient here, looking for that last push to the upside. Okay. It could take till the end of the year to happen, but that's 1,000 pips to the upside. Yeah, it's a safe haven battle for sure. And the Swissy's been winning this one for a while. Right? Since June 2016 or July 2016, been winning. Beginning of 2020, right? Saw this one on the rise. Very little pullbacks here. So once this, yeah, Joy, last push, thousand tips, 1,000 tip last push. So once this level gets achieved, definitely going to look for some potential violent moves to the downside, right? Be it intervention, be it Bank of Japan moving out of their restrictive policy, looking for some violent moves to come off of this 176,321 level. So I'm being patient for a price to get there. On the weekly, it's a 118, 127 zone, right? So it's right in line with a higher time frame, 80-20. Be a massive move to the downside if we get that major shift at that time, right? 2,000 pips back to the weekly support level. And actually, that's not accurate. That's a previous level there, so we can pull that out. Actually, we'll take that level out. Yeah, there's nothing there. So we got a weekly. Don't even have right here. There's a weekly level here, just at the 382 on the weekly time frame, right? We have another weekly level here, just above that. So that'd be a zone. So back to that 382, that is 1,700 pips, 1,800 pips to the downside if we get a move back down, and then right, more downward pressure from there. So coming to the daily, what I'm interested to see, we're trying to break this daily level, right? Once we do we get a push up and a pullback to test that level and give us a swing high? That swing high will give us a new AB boundary, right? So whatever that looks like, that D extension was achieved finally on that push up, right? So do we get a new AB boundary to form somewhere in here, right? Or even if it forms here, right? If we stay range bound for a bit and we get a new AB boundary to form here, swing high, 2 candles to the right, and then price pushes up, that puts the D extension in line with that 176 level, right? So anywhere in this range, be it here or here, right? Once a new fib forms, I'll be looking for additional confirmation on that fib and that 176 level. On the 4-hour, get these to pop in. Joy Diddy's going to stop at some time. At some time, we're going to see some relief here. We will. Did my fibs come out? Maybe they did. All right, I got to rerun these. So let's come to the low. Here. Just going to track these through to get my 4-hour fib back on the screen. Don't recall all of this being a thing though. Whoops. Double bottom, push. Double bottom, push. That's not going to be it. Hold on 1 second. Let's come to this low here. Oh. And then that's our takeoff. So come here. Yeesh. Still no. Oh. There we go. I'm going to highlight this level just so I don't forget it. All right. So get back. So here we had a breakdown. September 618 retracement, daily support, push. Right. So we're on the move to the upside. I missed this whole move. I just wasn't watching this one at all. But push long. We're headed to the D extension here, 170. Right. So look for breaks and retests here. Bullish on the 4 hour. Look for price continue riding to the upside there. Okay. On our one, it's not the fib that I had on there before, but that's okay. I'll figure it out. On the 1 hour, we'll come off the low. Let me make sure nothing pops in here. Yeah, all right. So we'll come off this low here. And we'll run these to the upside here. Maybe. Boom, there we go. All right, so all signs pointing to the upside. Okay, so we'll allow that one to continue to run. We'll check in on it periodically, but Swiss yen long potentially for another 1,000 pips to 176.389. So we'll see it when it gets there. Questions on the Swiss yen? No. All right. All right. All right. All right. Bah, 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 bah. We'll take a look at the pound yen since we're looking at the yens, right? We saw this one yesterday. Just the 1 hour look. All right, we talked about this. I didn't take this trade, but we talked about this one pushing down if we got trend line break. So we got the trend line break, that candle closed bearish, and then we got a breakdown there. Okay, so it came back down to the support level. We got a morning star pattern here. So we're looking for price to pull back to the upside, at least in the short term. So see that range there, right? Third time at this B boundary, didn't close below it, morning star pattern. So we'll look for price to push back to the upside off of that support level. But that was a nice move to the downside. Nice move to the downside. 120 pips there, right? And did you take that move to the downside? No. No, Benit did. Great work. Great work. Great work. Great work. All right. So that's just a quick check there. That one is still doing its dance overall. I think that dance will continue, but we'll see. Right? We said if we break that support level, then we'll take a look at it a little bit deeper. So coming into that support level now, we'll see what happens there. Okay. Yeah. So that is the pound yen. All right. And here's the move overall. There's a range that we're trapped in. Support there. pushing back to the upside. Let's look at this. I want to see this here. New Zealand CAD scenario. Again, right, that New Zealand hasn't picked up any strength. So shallow retracement, price ran to the D extension there. Right. We got a daily support coming in here. We'll see if the support level holds or if it gets broken. That's on a 1 hour. So that's another one that did not play out for us. Let's go back to the daily, look at it from top down. Let's see, AB boundary, took out the A, run the fib off the high, boom. So from a daily level, daily perspective, 618 retracement, we may not get another pull. We may not get this deep pullback here. We'll see if this level holds, right? That's what we'll watch to see. If this level holds, we'll look for a pullback. But if we break this level in any way, right, we could just continue to the downside in favor of the CAD here, and then just run to the D extension. So we'll watch that one off the higher time frames and see what we get at that support level. Coming into the 4. On the 4, that's where we are there. So, oh, interesting. We may not get that, man. We may not get this pullback. We got a 50% retracement. Again, this daily support is going to be key for us. We do have an 80-20 on the sub fib here on the 4, right? Shallow retracement, 118 to 127 zone. So we'll see if this holds and gives us an opportunity to get long here. All right, there's your sub fib there. So we'll see. We'll see what this daily level has in store. But there's a chance we don't get it and we break that level, continue to the downside. So let's watch and monitor here and see what happens. On the 1, right, back to that level. Clear that out. Come back there. That's where we are on the 1, right? AB boundary, daily support. So we'll watch that and see if we get a move off the B boundary, but we could just be stuck here, right, and continue to push to the downside, which is okay. But it's all right. So that's the second one that didn't play out in our favor, right? This 80-20 scenario here, just continue to run to the downside. So those New Zealands are getting run on right now. So we'll wait for them to come to key levels. We'll wait for them to set up in our sweet spots, and then we'll look for additional confirmation. So right now, right, scenario is, so we're aware, Swiss franc, right, is on the run against just about every pair, right? We didn't look at the Euro Swissy, but it's on the run, right? Push down, retest its daily level, pushing to the downside, right? Swiss franc is on the run. Okay. Pound Swissy, pound NZD continue to rumble to the upside. Pound Swissy running down, right? We talked about it. We got an 80-20 scenario potentially there. Okay. Let's look at the dollar Swiss real quick. Just doing some quick peeks at these Swiss crosses, right? But down, right? Down. So Swissy is running against everything. Okay. So when it comes to reversals, we want to be patient, let it come into sweet spots. Let it come into sweet spots with additional confirmation, right? Because it could just blow through that 80-20 zone because it's on the run, capital moving into a safe haven because of the war situation, right? At some point, it'll slow down, but we got to just allow price to do what it's going to do. So sit back and be patient and allow and put in place those additional confirmations, right? Here's the 80-20 scenario that's playing out here. Boom. But it makes sense, right? And I didn't play this, but this was a beautiful scenario, 80-20. So the move to the downside makes complete sense when it comes to the Swiss franc, right? So in this, before before the war even broke out to the downside, and that was just a catalyst to push it down, right? So what I'm saying is allow the Swissy to do what it's going to do, right? Look for our sweet spots, look for price to move into those with additional confirmation, and then we'll see if we get a move in the opposite direction, and then get um fundamental confirmation. Okay, so we'll watch that to see there. So Swissies being run on, New Zealand's being run on, right? NZD Swissy running, right? NZD dollar running, 80-20 continuing to run, right? So they're being run on. If we go back to, right, we saw the Aussie New Zealand, that Euro New Zealand broke that key level and run into the upside, right? We approach that next level now that we talked about, right? And we're breaking through that. Boom. Right? So we're headed higher, next level 182.227. Okay. So New Zealand's are being run on, Swissies are being run on. So use additional confirmation with these pairs, right? Use additional confirmation looking for those reversals, right? 4-hour D extension, shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone, didn't take, push long, right? So now we're moving to the upside still, right? And these are strong moves. So allow price to settle in once it gets to key levels and add those additional pieces of confirmation, right? So New Zealand's and Swissies, those are the ones you want to kind of be aware of in the back of your mind and allow them to do their thing, okay? And then once they're done, we'll look for some impulsive moves in the opposite direction to take advantage of the reversal, okay? So be aware, be aware, be aware, right? We took out the A there. Look at that. Beautiful. Whew, man. Crazy move, right? So now we flip the fib, run it to the upside. Boom. And we're running, right? We need to swing how to form there, and we'll see what happens, right? But from a weekly perspective, right, coming back to, I know, Joy, I know, I'd take profit there too. Mine got stopped in profit, but look, right, we had an impulsive breakout to the downside, right? Strong move down, getting a strong move back up. Had a morning star pattern here, decision, indecision, decision. We're running long. At some point, price has to turn over and at least take back some of this move, right? Even if it doesn't complete this crown pattern that we have, take back some of the move, right? So we'll continue to watch and see what happens, right? Price is running, we'll allow it to run. Once it slows down, settles in, and if we get a shift fundamentally, right, we'll look to take advantage of it. We'll look to take advantage of it. Come back to the monthly time frame, right? And we see we break out candle here after some consolidation and some indecision. Breakout, we're taking back that. So this looks, we'll see if the month closes in a railroad track, but that's kind of what it's looking like. But we're just taking back that move, right? So we'll see what happens as the month moves on. I'm gonna clean up these levels here. The previous monthly level. I'm gonna leave that because that's where we're still sitting. We'll leave that there. This level was a daily support. We'll take that out. This is what we're tracking to right here. Right? So take those out. That's where we are. That is where we are. We'll drop this monthly level down. Yeah, there we go. So that's what it is, right? So run into the upside, which is cool. Now, if we get to this level again, right, retest this level at 182,623 and price holds, now we'll just look for a reversal from there, right, and continue to move to the downside. Cool. All right, but until then, right, we'll play the waves to the upside, right? Any 80-20 zone retracements, we'll look for retracements and continue, right? 80-20 on the 30. To be honest with you, I wouldn't personally, not a trade that I would take, just because of everything running on this New Zealand dollar. All right, I would just watch it, and if it gives me a low price, then I'll get long on it. Yeah, that is pushing into that zone. We are moving sideways. So what I'd be looking for here, I'm looking for a pullback into the zone to get long, just because of what's happening right now fundamentally. Just because of what's happening fundamentally, you could definitely trade it, but on this one, I'd be looking for the longer move. That'd be a nice 100-pip move if it gets back to the 618 level. Not bad. It's actually not a bad scenario. Add your additional confirmation in on it, though. Add your additional confirmation in on it. On the flip side, I'd love for price to come down, retest that cloud, and then push. Boom. Boom. That's what I'd be looking for there. Good either on an 80-20, right? If anybody wants to wait on those additional confirmations. Yeah, I feel you. So let's watch that there. All right. Swissies and New Zealands. Allow them to do their thing. Okay. Allow them to do their thing. Questions on anything that we covered this morning, good people?
I have one quick question.
Yes, sir.
Where can we find more information about Swiss franc and what influences it?
And what influences it? I would hop into Google and YouTube. I don't have any specific websites. You can go to their Swiss National Bank website and look there. I'll ask Benny if he has any specific sites that he pulls when he's doing the weekly newsletter. But I don't have any personally. For those, I just I go with trading economics, and then if I want to look at anything deeper, as far as fundamental drivers and things like that, then I'll hop on YouTube and Google and just look for any insight there from some of those sources.
Okay, I noticed on Bloomberg they never really mentioned that particular currency, so I'm trading.
To be honest with you, there's a lot of people that don't know. Yeah. There's a lot of people that don't trade it. They don't really look at it like that, because there's a lot of back and forth to it, right? And a very heavy safe haven. But then on the flip side, the Swiss National Bank, they'll intervene quite a bit as well. So it can get a little sticky from that perspective. So a lot of people kind of stay away from it, and they don't look at it much. They look at more of like the dollar yen when it comes to risk on, risk off assets. Not risk on, risk off assets, but the dollar yen as a safe haven currency, as opposed to that discussing the Swiss franc, because they do a lot of manipulation a lot of times. Whereas the Japanese yen, they don't intervene a lot. They'll talk about it, but they don't do it a lot. Last year was the first time they did it in a long time. So, so it's interesting to look at that. But yeah, I would start with the central bank website, right? They have a ton of information on there. And the thing to remember about Switzerland is their goal is to stay in the middle.
Right. Neutral,
right? So when you're thinking about it, just remember or ask yourself, what will get them to neutral? Right? What'll get them to neutral? And that can kind of be your leading thought into going into, your whole thought process. So, but we'll see. I'll ask Benny if he has any additional resources there that we can
thank you
drop in the Discord for you. Hey, no problem. Any other thoughts? Nope. All right, good people. Have a phenomenal Thursday. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. You guys have a phenomenal Thursday. Find your 1% today. Peace.